Hey guys, welcome back to Buzzer to Buzzer. All right, guys, so the 10th week of the 2020 NFL season has officially elapsed, and per the usual, we're going to be going over our top 5 teams making our Buzzer to Buzzer heading into the week 11 of the 2020 NFL season power rankings. So without any further ado, let's get to it.
All right, guys, coming in at number 5 is the Green Bay Packers. You know, they were on this list last week, and they're staying at number 5. They had a good win over the Jaguars this week, but they've been fairly consistent of one trade. They played to their competition. They did it against the Vikings. They had a loss. And then since then, they played the Jaguars, and they played sort of down to level. Aaron Rodgers still had 3 touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 rushing. But even then, they got the job done. They got the win, and they're here at number 5.
So a new team that is just entered our top 5 in our power rankings is the Arizona Cardinals. I think it's about time that they got the respect that they deserved. We saw what they did against the Bills last week. Kyler Murray, in my opinion, he's in the top 3 MVP race right now. DeAndre Hopkins is undisputedly the best wide receiver in the league. And with players like that, with other pieces like Kenyon Drake, their defenses are really good in general. They just seem like a really good team right now. I don't think a lot of people expected this, but I think they're going to beat a lot of big name teams, and I think they're going to go super far in the playoffs.
At 3, we have the Saints. There's nothing to be said. They had a dominant victory over the 49ers, and they're still a big contender in this league right now. One thing to note is that Drew Brees is injured, and we're going to see how this progresses over the next couple of weeks. But if Jameis Winston can fill in and just do what he's supposed to do, the Saints team is not going anywhere.
All right, guys, and coming in number 2 in our Buzzer to Buzzer heading into Week 11 power rankings, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. And guys, the Kansas City Chiefs were there at the number 2 spot from last week as well. They're sitting at an 8-1 record. They had a bye week last week, and the only loss they've had is the team they're playing against next week, that being the Oakland Raiders. That loss, we all know, was because of an ineffective pass rush. The matchups with the wide receivers were not favorable as well. But I'm expecting that this upcoming week, the Chiefs are about to bounce back really hard, make sure that they teach the Raiders a lesson. And I feel like much has not changed from the bye week. Still got to give the Chiefs the respect they deserve. Pat Mahomes leading the team. They're number 2. All right, guys, and at our number 1 spot, it is no surprise. For the past 4 weeks, we've had the team, that being the Pittsburgh Steelers. Guys, the Steelers are sitting at a 9-0 record. Crazy to think how good they have been playing. For sure, like we said in the past weeks, nobody expected them to be here. Our thoughts on the Steelers being the number 1 spot.
Ryan, I think at this point, I don't think it could be a shock if the Steelers go undefeated this entire season. Their only other test throughout their matchups in the next couple of weeks is against the Ravens. And even if let's say they lose that game, I still think 1 loss is perfectly fine. That's still an amazing record. And they are a very good team right now. When their defense is good every single game, there's no doubt about that. But when their offense is also good, they just become an overpowered team. I don't think there's a single team that can stop them, maybe other than the Chiefs so far this season. And as long as they work on their inconsistencies with Big Ben, sometimes the receivers, James Conner, they should be good. And they'll definitely go far and maybe get to the Super Bowl.
The Steelers have this year, they have been nothing short of spectacular. Offensive side, defensive side, even special teams. They had a great draft class, and that's really working out for them this year. They had a dominant win over the Bengals, and they're still undefeated, so they have to remain at number 1.
With the Colts and Ravens being the only 2 chances of a loss here on their schedule, it looks very optimal for them to get the number 1 seed in the AFC. But looking past that, they're a really good coach team. Every week, even in a win, they find problems that they have and they work on them, and they sort of seem fixed for the next week, and then they can keep working on problems. This is a team that's building off of victory as you should, and Mike Tomlin's leading the way for them.
Exactly. I got to give so much more credit. Mike Tomlin, I feel like he's such an underrated coach in the league. The man deserves so much more credit, especially for this season. There's some crazy stat he had, like of the winning seasons he had with the Steelers, and this week just proved that once again with the Bengals. There's not much to be said. 9-0 doesn't happen very often. Spectacular to see, like Arnie said, and I think they're going to be staying there for a while. All right, guys. Well, those were our top 5 rankings for heading into this week 11, the 2020 NFL season. As always, guys, be sure to like button, subscribe, and comment down below. Do you agree or disagree with our power rankings? Take care, guys. Catch you guys on the next one. See you guys.